You're listening to the Amazing Facts Daily Devotional. Today's topic, Judgment against Jerusalem. Our key Bible text today comes from Revelation chapter 8, verse 7. The first angel sounded, and hail and fire followed, mingled with blood, and they were thrown to the earth. And a third of the trees were burned up, and all green grass was burned up. This verse is packed with symbolism. First, let's consider the third reference. 1/3 is a symbol in the Bible associated with apostasy and with the enemies of God. The forecast of the sword coming against Jerusalem in Ezekiel states, "You shall burn with fire 1/3 in the midst of the city. Then you shall take 1/3 and strike around it with the sword, and 1/3 you shall scatter in the wind." Ezekiel 5:2. Also, the enemy of God's people, Satan, drew a third of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth. Revelation 12:4. Trees can symbolize leaders. Daniel 4:10 through 12. And grass can symbolize people. Isaiah 40, verse 6. Thus, this judgment scene is not against apostate leaders only, but it is also against those who follow them into apostasy. Sadly, this was the conclusion of the Jewish nation. The language here is repeatedly used to describe judgment on Jerusalem. See Jeremiah 17:27, chapter 21, verse 14, Ezekiel 15:6, and chapter 20, verse 47. In fact, the book of Acts demonstrates that the primary persecutor of God's people during the time of the first church was not Rome, but unconverted Jewish leaders. It was at the instigation of apostate Jewish leaders that Christ was crucified by a Roman governor, and not because this civil leader had anything against Jesus. The attack on Jerusalem by Babylon referenced in Ezekiel 13:13 featured a battering ram that destroyed the walls of the city. Centuries later, the Jewish historian Josephus would write of Roman soldiers launching white boulders from catapults. As they fell to earth, they resembled giant hailstones. In this judgment, we perceive both the goodness and severity of God. The Christians heeded the warning and escaped the judgments upon Jerusalem, while the unbelieving multitude found themselves trapped by a calamity that they refused to believe was coming. How blessed and fearful, then, that we have a prayer-hearing God who will by no means clear the guilty, Exodus 34:7, but who will execute justice in favor of his beloved saints. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this warning and ask for your help in heeding its message. Today's topic was taken from our Revelation verse-by-verse devotional. To purchase your own copy, please visit www.afbookstore.com. Thank you for listening to the Amazing Facts Daily Devotional.